The European Commission recognizes that diverse workplaces are more dynamic, innovative, and efficient as they benefit from various and unique experiences, ideas, and knowledge. Diverse workplaces are the springboard for better societies. My message to you is that diversity must be a part of economic recovery. It is precisely in this setting that we must build bridges to unite us, to help us understand and support each other's struggles.
The war has brought about enormous human suffering. But besides the suffering in Ukraine, it has also reached people all around the world. And I think even if the war stopped today, the economic consequences of the conflict would be felt well into the next year.
At the same time, I'm deeply impressed to witness how warmly and compassionately the Romanian authorities, international organizations such as EBRD, and NGOs such as the Romanian Diversity Chamber of Commerce, and the Romanian civil society welcome the Ukrainian people. I'd like to thank all of them for their relentless work day by day in Romania. Right now, more than 2,900 Ukrainian children went to the Romanian schools, and more than 3,000 people have jobs in Romania. I'm certain that this solidarity will continue because there are so many people in need.
Our strength comes from our diversity. Only through the respect for the human rights and dignity of every individual, irrespective of ethnicity, race, gender, sexual orientation, or disability status, can a society achieve security, economic prosperity, and cultural richness that comes from embracing diversity. It is in historic moments of crisis and challenge, like the U.S. Civil War, and like the moment we are now in Europe, that we discover new areas of common humanity, understanding, and respect. Perhaps even more importantly, long after this war is over, just as we continue to work on our own democracy, we will continue to support the Romanian government and civil society to build a more inclusive and diverse society by elevating the works of champions like Dr. Carmen Gheorghe, an important Roma activist and the recipient of the Secretary of State's International Women of Courage Award, who is tirelessly working to fight against the discrimination toward Roman women and girls as president and co-founder of E-Romja. We still have a long way to go in building a world in which all people are truly equal. But we have a unique opportunity today in this moment of crisis to come together to address this difficult challenge.
However, we also have a strong strategic focus on promoting or supporting people, communities and businesses that are affected by crisis and by longer term stresses. And this is something that is very essential to the new Equality of Opportunity strategy that we just launched at the end of last year, which really sets out how we actually, through our investment, through our engagement with clients, through our policy engagements, how we try to ensure that everybody is able to access economic opportunities regardless of their circumstances.
I'm not going to start talking about other businesses, but I'm happy to share what we do and as a law firm. And Denton's, you probably don't know, it's the largest firm in the world, so we have over 20,000 employees. So it gives us the ability to try to work with our employees, with our contractors, with our clients, with our partners on issues which we consider dear to our hearts. The one thing that we do is, of course, pro bono work. And that's something that I think lawyers and different law firms have been doing for ages. But the issue that we've been tackling for the past maybe 5, maybe 7 years was how to combine pro bono with diversity and inclusion. And there is actually a number of quite significant projects that we have managed to undertake with on diversity and inclusion subjects, such, for example, gay and lesbian rights, where we have undertaken strategic litigation to try to either combat hate speech, hate crime, or support changes of law that will enhance diversity and inclusion, like the right to marry.
Differences in digitalization are not only between countries, but they also exist within countries. And these are differences in terms of infrastructure, but also in terms of skills. And there is a real danger that as the progress continues to happen, some people will be left behind. There is a skills constraint, and there is a bit of a vicious circle. Firms not investing because they expect workers to leave, and workers often enthusiastically migrate outside. So that's something that poses constraint on countries. I mentioned to you that structural changes associated with digitalization have been happening, but more is to come. We are not done, and therefore we need to keep that in mind when thinking about our educational systems, and in particularly adult education, so that people are able to adjust to the changing structure of the economy. And finally, I was mentioning that there are huge differences across our countries of operation in terms of fintech. Fintech is great, but of course there is also a dark side to fintech. So thank you very much.
Thank you for the invitation of being also a speaker and telling you a little bit more about our Access program. We started it in 2019, as it was also mentioned in the video. And now we have over 400 people that joined our company, joined our team. A few of them you could see in the video. It all started in autumn 2019. We were talking together with our board of directors of how we could change a little bit the way that people with disabilities are integrated on the Romanian market. So we designed special jobs for these people. We also adjusted the working place, the social rooms that they could also use while they are maybe in the break, while chatting with a colleague or eating lunch, for example. And afterwards, we started dedicated recruitment events in all the major cities of Romania. We went there together with an NGO that helped us also to have those discussions with them, to understand their needs better, and also made them familiar with our Kaufland world. And there were dedicated recruiting events, and afterwards we also designed job descriptions that we also made public and communicated through social media. We had
so as a group, CTP has this target to support education at all levels, and now I'm reaching the point that I wanted to emphasize, because I think it's very interesting, the connection between digitalization and age, indeed. Because also as an employer, but also through the eyes of our clients, we have realized that we are in a very difficult position to employ people which are after a certain age, and we are actually discriminating them because they don't have these digital capabilities. And
I think that we are really very happy to see the interest of the authorities in financial education. There are three things here to mention very briefly. The first one is that financial education has been introduced in the curricula starting with 2021, I guess, in the curricula for study for our kids. The second thing is, I don't know how many of you knows that 11th of April is the Day of Financial Education in Romania. It has been established this year, and we hope to see, activities around, not only around that days, but also throughout the year with all the stakeholders. And The last thing I want to mention, there is a strategy for the financial education, which is being put together by the Ministry of Education together with the Romanian Banking Association and the Association of the Insurance Companies. So it's not only that we will have this strategy for the education at the national level, but also they have to implement in order to, to have a better future for all of us. So more activities of this kind we want to see around.